Hey guys, welcome back to my Power of Positive Thinking series. And I apologize because I know that I have missed the past 2 weeks. I've just been crazy busy. So if you missed that, then sorry. But I'm back now. And if you're new to this series, just real quick, what I'm doing is I read a few months ago, I read a book called The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, all about how your thoughts affect your reality and how positive thoughts affect your reality positively and vice versa. So what I've been doing is going through all of the actual recommendations in that book, and there are a lot of them. So I realized I would be much better off chunking them into weekly pieces. So I'm going through them one by one and committing myself to observing one of those pieces of actionable information every week. And so I'm sharing what I'm doing with you on this live video and inviting you to do it along with me if you so choose. So I'll go ahead and jump right into it for today. It says, Dr. Franklin E. Baugh, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, of the University of Colorado Medical School, maintains that 1/3 of all cases of illness in general hospitals are clearly organic in nature and onset. 1/3 are a combination of emotional and organic, and 1/3 are clearly emotional. Dr. Flanders Dunbar, author of Mind and Body, says it is not a question of whether an illness is physical or emotional, but how much of each. Every thoughtful person who has ever considered the matter realizes that the doctors are right when they tell us that resentment, hate, grudge, ill will, jealousy, vindictiveness are attitudes which produce ill health. Have a fit of anger and experience for yourself that sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach, that sense of stomach sickness. Chemical reactions in the body are set up by emotional outbursts that result in feelings of ill health. Should these be continued either violently or in a simmering state over a period of time, the general condition of the body will deteriorate. In speaking of a certain man whom we both know, a physician told me that the patient died of grudge-itis. The physician actually felt that the deceased passed away because of a long-held hatred. He did his body such damage that his resistance was lowered, the doctor explained, so that when a physical malady attacked him, he did not possess the stamina or renewing force to overcome it. He had undermined himself physically by the malignancy of his ill will. Dr. Charles Minor Cooper, San Francisco physician, in an article entitled Heart-to-Heart Advice About Heart Trouble, says, "You must curb your emotional reactions. When I tell you that I have known a patient's blood pressure to jump 60 points almost instantaneously in response to an outburst of anger, you can understand what strain such reactions can throw upon the heart. One who is quick on the trigger," he wrote, "is likely to blame someone else impulsively for a fault or mistake, when it would be wiser simply to avoid being so much disturbed by what is done and is therefore unavoidable." He quoted the great Scottish surgeon John Hunter. Dr. Hunter had a heart condition himself and a thorough understanding of the effect of strong emotion on his heart. He said that his life was at the mercy of anyone who could annoy him. And in fact, his death resulted from a heart attack caused by a fit of anger when he forgot to discipline himself. Dr. Cooper concludes, "Whenever a business problem starts to vex you or you begin to get angry, let yourself go limp all over. This will dissipate your mounting inner turmoil. Your heart asks that it be permanently housed in a lean, cheerful, placid man who will intelligently curb his physical, mental, and emotional activities. So if you are under par, I suggest that you do a very scrupulous job of self-analysis. Honestly ask yourself if you are harboring any ill will or resentment or grudges, and if so, cast them out. Get rid of them without delay. They do not hurt anybody else. They do no harm to the person against whom you hold these feelings, but every day and every night of your life, they are eating at you. Many people suffer poor health, not because of what they eat, but from what is eating them. Emotional ills turn in upon yourself, sapping your energy, reducing your efficiency, causing deterioration in your health, and of course, they siphon off your happiness. So we realize today the effect of thought patterns upon physical states. We realize that a person can make himself ill by resentment. We know he can develop various kinds of physiological symptoms because of a sense of guilt. Also, one may show definite physical symptoms as a result of fear and anxiety. We know that healing has been accomplished when thoughts are changed. So this is something that I have encountered quite a bit in my own life. I used to be somebody who got angry a lot. I used to have a lot of difficult emotions that I had to work through. But one in particular was that I got angry. That if somebody disagreed with me, I'd start a fight with that person over Facebook or something. You know, I've talked about this in other videos. Completely unproductive behavior, right? It wasn't helping anyone. It wasn't enlightening anyone. It was making me angry, and it was making my health bad, right? You can tell that it's affecting your health because your blood pressure raises, because you physically feel different. And the more you do that over the time, it more it destroys your health. So I was in this situation where I was doing everything I could so that I would be in good health. Like, I was eating all organic food. I was cutting out the junk food. I was cutting out the sugar. I even cut out gluten for a while. I was exercising regularly. I was doing absolutely everything that I was supposed to do. And still I was getting sick constantly. Like, I was always getting colds or flus. And then, and I was always tired too. And finally, I realized that my problem was that I was angry all the time. That I was constantly afraid. I was constantly anxious. That it was actually my emotions that were sabotaging my health, even though I was doing everything right from a physical point of view. I was eating the right things. I was exercising, etc. And so when I started to address that, my health got a lot better, and including times when I let my physical habits slip, when I don't go to the gym for a few weeks, when I start eating junk food, I still don't get sick, which is incredible, because it means that the emotional side is actually having more of an effect than all of the typical health advice that everybody gives you, at least in my experience. And obviously, I think that you should do both, right? I think you should take care of yourself physically and spiritually, and your emotions are spiritual. That's your spirit letting you know that you are acting in a healthy manner, or that you are thinking in a healthy manner, right? This is all about the power of positive thinking. Every thought comes with an emotion. So if you think something that feels bad, that's your body's, your soul's feedback mechanism telling you that maybe you shouldn't be thinking that thing. Maybe that thing that you're thinking is not healthy for you, and that you should switch to a thought that feels better. So anyway, that's my experience. If you have experience like this, where you've noticed that your health got better or got worse in response to something that you were feeling or something that you were thinking, I'd love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. And so, yeah, that's it for today. And hey, Sifo, I see you there. Cool. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully that's helpful. That's my goal for the week, is to recognize the content of my emotions as much as possible. And then if they are not good, then turn them around. Recognize that if I am feeling hatred, if I'm feeling resentment, if I'm feeling fear, anxiety, anger, or whatever, then chances are I'm doing harm to my health, and I need to turn it around as fast as I possibly can. And then actually, I should add too that there's kind of a flip side on that, that if you catch yourself feeling angry, or if you catch yourself in one of these negative emotions, you have to be easy on yourself, right? If you're very hard on yourself, if you say, oh, I had an angry thought, I'm such a bad man, I'm going to whip myself until I bleed, figuratively speaking, you're really not making making it any better. You got to be very forgiving of yourself at the same time. It's just recognize it, turn it around, forgive. Like I was thinking something that's not helpful for me, so I'm going to correct it and I'm going to move on. And then I'm going to think in a way that's helpful. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. Thank you, Fixie Fix. I appreciate it. Sifu, this is so cool. We have bad time under the isolation. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's, I feel like there's definitely a lot of negative energy because people are afraid of getting sick, because people feel like they're losing their freedoms. People are suspicious of each other. right? You know, you say hi to somebody in the morning and they like back up like you're scary, right? Because they're afraid of getting sick. So yeah, there's a lot of negativity going around right now. So if you can keep positive, and if you can not fall into that, which is kind of ironic, right? That people are so afraid of getting sick, but the fear and the resentment towards other people is actually more likely to make them sick than any virus, right? And actually is likely to make them more susceptible to a virus because it suppresses the immune system. And actually, that's something that's scientifically studied, that when you feel in a state of fear, your fight or flight system kicks in, which puts all the body's resources to the extremities, right? It puts everything in your arms, puts your blood flow to your arms and legs so that you're ready to run, and it takes away the energy from your immune system. So the more afraid you are of getting sick, paradoxically, the more likely you are to get sick. So yeah, good comment for sure. That's definitely going on right now. Okay, so that's it for me. Thank you guys, and have an awesome week. I'll see you in the same segment next week.